Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to a video called Poland is not what I thought it was. Okay, this is ominous, but hopefully it's for the good. It's not what I thought it was. It was better. Hopefully it's gonna be something like that. But let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe.
All the way to Poland to film trains, and somehow I ended up exploring trams, street food, and the city after dark. And we'll be covering everything from my apartment to arguably one of the best stations I've seen in my life. And you're probably thinking, how much did this all cost?
Yes.
Well, stick around till the end and I'll show you. Well, this is my first experience ever at an airport. Time for a pint.
Super expensive. Exactly.
I also went for an ale rare bit burger, so what did we think of that?
So what exactly did I think of the burger? Well, I think it was very suboptimal for the price. I wouldn't do that again.
Now on to our first ever flight. I am a bit nervous.
Well, this is it.
Why?
It's our first flight. I'm just about to board right now. We're off to Krakow in Poland.
Why is he nervous?
Hendo's nice and comfy across there with his pillow. Absolutely.
I also must confirm the rumours are true. There ain't much space. Now time for our first ever takeoff.
First ever takeoff. Oh, this is your first on
I
the
think
plane.
the same could be said about the bathrooms. They are very small indeed. Now this
Yes.
is us just landing into Krakow in Poland. Now when you land, they actually have a shuttle bus waiting for you.
They usually, they don't have.
There we go, we made it.
In airports, sometimes, I don't know how they do this, the whole, you have the tunnel or you have the shuttle. I don't know what you prefer. I actually prefer the tunnel. I don't prefer a shuttle because shuttles, they just take longer. But sometimes it's a thing.
After a quick check-in into Poland airport, we were met by our driver who was called Philip. He gave us a 25-minute drive out to our apartments. Now this apartment set me back £179 for 3 nights, which
Nice
is the
apartment.
equivalent of £60 per night. It comes with a lovely dining area and an outstanding bespoke bathroom, along with a
It's
lovely
gorgeous.
lounge and a nice king-size bed. So, how did I sleep? Well, I got about 4 hours of solid sleep. I do have bags under my
Yeah.
eyes. I am absolutely exhausted, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. We're gonna get out there, we're gonna do a bit of exploring
4
today,
hours,
go and get some
it's
breakfast.
not a lot.
And yeah, we'll catch up soon. Well, that is us awake, ladies and gentlemen. We're out on the streets in Poland. We're just about to explore. So behind me at the moment, we're actually seeing that they have a tram network too.
Yeah,
If you need to
that's
get around the town, they do have electric scooters, which is also quite nice. Similar to what they have in the UK cities. And by the looks of things, the tram network seems quite substantial.
I wonder if people that use the scooters are more tourists that do this or, you know, residents and people that live there. I would assume it's just tourists. I can't imagine a resident using the scooter. I think probably residents just prefer to get around in buses or the subway or their own cars.
In Poland. So, I think this is the train station above us. We're gonna go up and have a look at the train station. This is platform 2.
Is
So
it
that is
electric
us now
river?
on platform 2. We're just about to have a look and see what this red train coming towards us is. Well, I think Hendo's trying to do a little bit of translation behind me at the moment. He thinks that this timetable is the bullet train. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me show you. The best part is we
No
still
idea.
haven't seen some of the best spots. We're still on the hunt for breakfast. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Still,
Krakow Central Square. It's one of the largest medieval squares.
I admire so much people like you can just go around without having breakfast for a really long time. I would pass out on the street.
In Europe.
I can't
So
enjoy anything.
right behind me you guys can actually see it's the Church of Virgin Mary. Well,
Oh, that's a
that's what it
church.
says online anyway, so we are going to take the Google for their word today, I think. Could I get one as well?
Ooh, pretzels. Oh my god, they look so good.
Perfect. There we go. Thank you. So we do have
Yes.
a rock solid cheesy looking pretzel.
I would try that.
I'm actually going to sink my teeth into this and well, hopefully I still have a full set of teeth.
Yeah, but it isn't that. Oh, okay, no, it is hard. It's good. Oh, what was it?
I must say I've never been in a Polish McDonald's before.
Oh, they're going to McDonald's. Oh, that's boring. Come on, go to try Polish food.
So I went for a bacon and cheddar, a Coke and a fries.
Yeah,
It does look really nice and it's a nice seeded bun. After a
like-
delicious
it's
bite at
looking a little
McDonald's, we decided to explore Krakow a little
You
bit
need
more.
ketchup. What is Florian's
Well,
Gate?
how cool is that?
What is that?
And yeah, I must say the history behind this and the history behind this city is just phenomenal.
Wow.
So yes,
What is
I'm
that
about to do a spot of shopping. This place is absolutely massive.
Oh, that's the mall, right?
What do
call
you
it
think of the
galleries.
size
Oh,
of
it's
this
huge.
place, mate?
It's big.
Huge. It is absolutely bonkers, and it's got multiple
If you're gonna squint your eyes, it almost seems, I don't know, it reminds me of an airport because it's just very big.
levels as well. Yeah, I must say, this beats Union Square in Aberdeen, Scotland, so this place is ginormous.
They are
It
Scottish.
features
so,
many
yeah, I can
great
give it away.
Polish shops along with your staples, such as big marketing chains like Nespresso and other companies.
Well, we're gonna get a lovely seat right here.
Ooh. Ooh, a beer.
There we go.
Refreshing, nice.
Ooh, banging. Let's give a nice pint of Tyskie a try.
I can't imagine anything better outside
Oh,
with
yeah.
a beer.
And of course, it's time to get on to
Ebola.
what we really want to see, the juicy stuff.
So
What's
this
the juicy stuff?
this is Krakow Station. I must say, it is some size. Wow.
Oh, it's big. Oh, okay.
So we're gonna
what
go and
else?
see if we can get
What's
onto
that?
another platform at the moment. There is some shunters that have came through. There's quite a few nice things that have came through. So we're gonna see if we can get over there.
I actually love how open it is. I think I'm used to sort of stations that are just, I don't know, closed, is an enclosed space. And I don't know, this was just so open. I love that. You're sort of surrounded by air, nature. Oh, you know that part. The other part.
Like a map that leads me to nowhere.
Local hold. What?
So that I hear is the PKP Intercity in Poland. I heard they do first class on this train and it's meant to be very nice. I don't
Ooh.
think you guys can quite understand how awesome this is. So we have some intercity carriages being pulled by the PKP Intercity shunter, and behind that we have Poland's famous bullet train.
Oh, they have
So
a bullet
yes,
train.
this is actually the PKP Intercity, otherwise known as the Polish Pendolino. It's my first time seeing
What's
these,
Pendolino?
and wow, they are pointy. It kind of reminds me of Japan's bullet trains.
Oh my god, they're so
So we're
weird.
actually in the station right now. It kind of looks like a mall a little bit, doesn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this. What do you think?
It's Ben's any UK station I've ever seen, like.
Yeah. I mean, they've got like literally a pastry shop and everything in this station. It's look at him. He's away at the
Well,
pastry stop.
Well, but train stations usually have bakeries and places to eat, right? I mean, that's normal. Not in Scotland, Aberdeen. I don't know. Ooh, oh my god, I can't. I'd be a menace here. I want to have everything.
incredible. It looks right out
Ooh, they have a balcony.
Krakow. Amazing.
Gorgeous.
Well, after a long day's working, you're probably thinking, what does it look like at night?
Wow.
Oh,
So
carriages.
after a few pints in Krakow, I can't tell you how beautiful this city is. It is just wonderful.
It's nice outside.
Absolutely fantastic. So I'm just about to go to Moo Moo Steakhouse, me and Hendo. We're gonna have a lovely steak dinner. We'll let you know how it goes. I think it'll be really, really nice, to be honest. So we're going to Moo Moo's. There we go.
Okay. Oh, because it's a cow. I get it now. Best steak dinner I've ever had. Okay, so what's
so
good?
what is the town like in Krakow on a Friday night? Well, we've just
Oh, it's
had a
Friday.
lovely steak dinner, and I mean, there's still tour buses,
Yeah, of
trams.
course.
There's a lot of people going out for nights out. It still very much
It
is
looks nice, the
active
weather.
in the town, and I think we can say we have had a phenomenal night.
Oh, they're leaving.
Just before we say goodbye to Poland, we have to try one kebab. And this place is very, very small. We've got Hendo in there at the moment. And yeah, we're going to give it a little review, then we take our flight back to Scotland this evening. Perfect, thank you. There we go.
Oh, it looks good.
So let's give it a little go.
What? How many? Those are cool. Those oranges are gorgeous. I love the carrot. Oh my god, they're so pretty.
It's been
What's happening?
Let's see how you do under pressure.
Yeah, you're gonna get your
Been wanting
nose hands dirty, but yeah, your clothes dirty as well.
Well, this is it. We're on our way to the airport, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we've got a beautiful, beautiful sunset. I think it's going to take a few hours to get back to Aberdeen Airport. And then, boom, we're going to be back.
Come with me, let's take
I love that the train or the, I don't know if it's a trolley or
That's us at
something,
the
it
end of the
just
trip
right
now.
next to the car.
Back at Krakow Airport. What a
Nice.
size.
Yeah, it's very pretty. Looks very modern.
Well, it's time for that return home. How have you found the trip? I think it's been phenomenal. Well, probably the best thing that's happened to me in my life. Great trip. It was awesome, man.
Now,
They
you
made them
guys are
walk.
probably wondering, how much did this all cost us?
So the flights were £50 for a return from Aberdeen.
That's
the
cheap.
hotels were £179.
That's cheap as well.
And the food and travel expenses were £200. So a very, very cheap trip indeed.
Yeah, so hold on. How much was it in total? I need to go back.
£179 and the food and travel
180.
expenses were £200.
Okay, so 200, yeah, it's around less than, around 500 euro. No, it's pounds, not euros. Around 400 pounds. Let's round that up. Okay. Yeah, this 400 pounds, I think it was, in 3 days? I think it's good. It's actually quite cheap. I wasn't expecting it to be that cheap. I know, it's always shocking to me how cheap flights are. I think in Europe, I don't know, well, I know why, obviously, everyone's, traveling around all the time. So they have a lot of, and cheap, you have cheap airlines and stuff, but it always it never ceases to amaze. I don't know, to me, how you can get really, really cheap flights. I think especially because, I don't know, I think in this day and age, usually flights are really expensive. Even if you're between, in the same, not even, again, it's just a national sort of flight, they are quite expensive, or probably a little bit more expensive than they used to be. So it's always nice to, it's not super expensive always. You can still find cheap places, cheap places to go as in air traveling. But I guess, I know Europe is just a whole different thing, of course. The way they do it over there. The flights are super cheap. I don't know why. They should, all those airlines should probably, oh my god, go to other places, because it's really incredibly cheap. The housing, it was an Airbnb, a beautiful apartment, I have to say. It was gorgeous, and also the bathroom, I love the bathroom, very sleek. It looks sort of modern and probably what has been renovated. Because they didn't really show us the building as in the facade. But the building, the apartment itself, it looked quite modern. It was probably had been recently renovated, so it was very modern. Probably had a bunch of amenities, and of course, the place itself looked very pretty. So it is 180 for 2-3 days. I think that's also incredibly cheap. I just think everything was quite cheap, and the 200 pounds for food and getting around. I don't think they ever, because I think they were all doing it on the cheap, so they weren't trying, and it was all in Krakow, right? They weren't trying to go some other city or some other town. I don't think they did a lot of shopping. It was just, the basics, just moving around and, again, food. But it wasn't as if they were, they had apparently a really nice steak dinner. It's not as if they were, I don't know, eating at $1 hot dogs in the middle of the street. No, they were actually having nice meals. So it is quite cheap. I think Krakow, it's probably not as expensive, I think, as other places. And maybe, I don't know if they complain, because again, you have a different perspective. I think always coming, the outsider's perspective, the tourist perspective is always going to be different from the people that live there, because, from Polish people or just people that, for whatever reason they live there. Because obviously, because they work there, they live there, they live out there the whole year round, and they've been doing that for years. So it is, I think the perspective is a little bit skewed, because I think the same way as this guy. I think it was a really, really cheap, trip. But it makes me think, well, yeah, if the trip's cheap, then Krakow is really cheap as well. But maybe, I don't know, I would love to ask I don't know, Krakarian? How do you call people that live in Krakow or that, born and raised in Krakow? No idea how they call them, but Krakarian? I have no idea. And I would love to ask, a Krakarian or a Krakow resident how they feel about this. Do you believe your city is cheap? Because I think, again, from a tourist perspective, I think it is. But I like to ask them to say, oh, what do you believe? Because I know that inflation has been, it's a thing, I think, worldwide for, I don't know, since a lot of years actually now. Everyone's complaining about the cost of living has gone up and the food prices are gone up and the price of housing has gone up. Everything just has gone up in general. The price of electricity, what other kind of services, whatever other services. So I would love to ask, what do Polish people think about this? And also, again, would love to ask also the perspective from another person that lives, a Polish person or some person that lives in Poland, but doesn't exactly live in Krakow. You live in what other city they have. I don't know, whatever other city they have. I would love to ask them, do you think Krakow is cheap or expensive? Because, Krakow is the capital, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. So I think capitals, because they're bigger cities, they tend to be a little bit on the expensive side. But okay, so this is the expensive thing. Again, the rest of the country must be super cheap. So if you even want to go, you want to have a really nice vacation. Well, can you call it a vacation? This is again, if you're in Europe, like they are, it's a weekend, so it's a little bit different. But if you want to go, you can go on a weekend getaway. You can do this by even cheaper. If you're in Europe, you don't have to go to Krakow. You can probably go to other cities in Poland or other towns in Poland, and they're probably going to be more cheaper than this, which I think I love, of course. Oh my God, what a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about another country and visit another country, which is always really nice. And yeah, you can do it on the cheap. I think one of the things that surprised me about the city itself, I don't know when they went, if this was the spring, summer, winter, didn't appear to be winter. The weather was incredibly nice. I don't know why. I think maybe it's just because of winters. I have it in my mind that I think people have spoken about, winters in Poland are really harsh, they're very hard. But obviously, when it's nice outside, it's really nice. It's obviously do not go during the winter, again, if you're planning on traveling there, because it's not going to be, I think sometimes winter is very beautiful. I really do like winter. I like it from a perspective of you can travel there, it's really nice. Living there, living in places with a winter, a really harsh winter with a lot of snow, it's cold. It's not ideal, and I understand, snow when it melts is gross, but I think it's just visually, and if you don't get into the whole logistics of it all, of the fact that you have to live there and you have to move around and you have to actually exist in that city, I think it looks very pretty. I just think it's so nice. Oh my God, look at, the snowflakes, and it's really pretty. But again, you can do this for a few, 2 weeks. Obviously, when it comes to, oh my God, I've been here for 2 months and it doesn't stop. The snow is constant and it's cold and it's wet and you don't want to go outside and it's dark. So yeah, I understand the logistics of it all, because how annoying, how awful winter is. But it's really, I don't know, if you're traveling around, I don't think it's that bad. It's just the cities, I think, look very pretty. They look very different as well with the winter if you compare cities with like spring and summer and fall. So I don't know, I like it. But I understand, yeah, if your purpose is, hey, I want to visit a city, probably you wouldn't do this during the winter, even though, again, it's beautiful, I like it. But maybe it's just that, some cities are not really that nice when it comes to, with winter. Yes, I know, visually very appealing. You have the mountains of snow and oh my God, how so pretty. But again, the city, it's a disaster and the roads get blocked, and if it's a storm, it's a whole thing. So maybe again, it's just in the fantasy land. Yeah, it's very pretty, but obviously you wouldn't go there. But yeah, go around in this time of the year. The weather was gorgeous. That's why everyone was around. Was outside, because it was super nice. I don't know what the temperature was, but it was looking really nice. And one of the things that actually shocked me was also, I don't know, because I think in Europe, and I know obviously it depends on the city, it's just a really nice mix between really old buildings and all architecture, and things that just look very well preserved and old and really, I don't know, they're vintage looking, they're very pretty, but also very modern type of buildings. You know, they're looking very futuristic, they're looking very modern. And I like that. It's quite shocking, I think, that contrast. And I think, well, but that's for you, right? I really do like it. It's just, you know, even the airport. I think the airport, it was looking quite you know, futuristic, quite modern. And then you have the mall that also it's quite big. You know, it looks big. It looks sort of like an airport, because I don't know why malls and airports kind of look similar. I think it's just because they're big spaces, and you have a lot of stores as well. I don't know why. And you have, you know, stairs, and I don't know why. I think they usually resemble each other. I know they call it a gallery, not a mall, I believe, or maybe there's a difference between a mall and a gallery. But whatever the thing is, it looked very modern. Of course, it doesn't look like a like some sort of old type of mall, which I think, you know, again, that's usually the case for malls. They're looking, maybe sometimes they're looking at a little bit older, because they're gone out of style, I don't know, in recent years. So, but no, this is surprising to me, because no, it looks quite modern, it looks quite nice. But also you have the whole thing about like the gate, the Florian's Gate, which I have no idea what that thing was, but I would love to visit. It looked very pretty. But yeah, you have something so, I don't know, old looking, and then you have, you know, this big mall, and then even in the train station, they had the train station with, you know, those weird looking futuristic trains. They also have a bullet train. I have no idea they have this. Then also there's another types of trains. You have the futuristic looking train, an older type of train, and then the train station itself. It was looking also quite, I don't know, like a traditional train station. It wasn't super modern or anything. But again, you have the train with looks super futuristic just arriving. It's so weird, but yeah, I love the contrast, and probably that's how Krakow is. Just a really good mix of, you know, old things and new things. But I love it. I would love to visit someday. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.